Hey, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I pay a visit to my local homebrew shop in Pittsburgh, and it's called Hills Brewing Supply. John Benedict owns it. He started it in 1994 with some partners, and then he took full ownership in 1997. And John's been fantastic to me over the years, he and his staff. I mean, they go above and beyond to help, to answer questions and do special orders, and the store is well stocked and the prices are competitive. But I'd still shop there even if it costs more money. And I'm a big supporter of local and independent business, small business. And small business makes up almost half the U.S. economy. You know, money spent locally typically stays local, and money spent elsewhere leaves and almost never comes back. And I don't like to see empty storefronts of any kind. Now, here in the U.S., we've seen quite a number of local homebrew shops go out of business. And some say it's because of online shopping, but the big box homebrew stores are feeling the pinch too, and the thrust of their business is, of course, online shopping, so that argument doesn't really tell the whole story. You know, two of the biggest, Midwest Supply and Northern Brewer, who are affiliated, well, in 2023 they closed for walk-in business. It's online sales only. And another one, High Gravity, has closed forever. And the biggest reason for all this, of course, is that since 2014, homebrewing has been on a decline, at least in the U.S. And the numbers back this up. You know, for example, in the American Home Brewers Association, the AHA, well, membership is down 35% since 2018, and that's over 16,000 people and counting. And then the AHA canceled this year's Homebrew Conn. First time that's ever happened. Now, I know some people don't have a local homebrew shop, and for those that do, it's probably worth it to give them some support, even if it costs a little bit more. And if there's something that they don't have, maybe they can special order it. And if they can't, maybe you can find a local homebrew shop someplace else and throw some business their way once in a while. Now, there's 4 shops within a 20-mile radius of my house, but I'm still loyal to South Hills, even though it's not the closest one to me. And in the U.S., all things considered, in this day and age, it's uncommon to have that many shops in one area, but in Pittsburgh, the home brewing scene is strong. Now, people like to blame the decline of home brewing on the fact that we have so many craft breweries now and so much craft beer. But that's only a small part of the equation. One of the biggest factors is people are drinking less alcohol now, especially beer. Beer consumption's at the lowest point we've seen in a generation since the late 90s. And so now craft breweries are hurting. So we've got to support them too. And so with fewer people drinking beer or drinking less beer, it means fewer people homebrewing. It's just that simple. And, you know, there's things that we can do to get people interested in home brewing, and maybe I'll touch on that a little bit in a future video. But I will say we need to remind people who are interested in brewing at home how easy it is. It's easier than baking a cake in some instances. I mean, you don't need fancy, expensive equipment and complicated methods to make great beer. You can make great beer with simple, inexpensive equipment and simple methods. And for example, you can look at this book, Simple Homebrewing by Drew Beechum and Denny Conn. And on page 15, you can read about Doug King. Rest in peace, Doug. He was a member of the Maltose Falcons Homebrew Club. It's the oldest club in the U.S. And he was famous for his Budweiser clone, which he called DOUGWEISER. That's so cool. I just love that. And he won an award for it in 1996. And he had some friends who worked at Anheuser-Busch who gave him tips on how to make Budweiser. He then sent them some DOUGWEISER samples to be analyzed in their laboratory. And the results came back and he'd nailed the specs for Budweiser. But guess what? Doug brewed that beer by mashing on the stovetop. He then used 2 plastic 5-gallon buckets for the LAUTER ton. That's the ZPEP setup that the great Charlie Papazian invented. Look in the description for links to more information on that. He then boiled the wort on the stovetop, and the rest is history. There was no pressure fermenting and no close transfer. It's very cool. And so there you have it. And with that, I'm going to quit talking, and let's get on with the video and check out South Hills Brewing and Supply.
Alright, so here's what I got from the store. I got some sparkling amber for an amber ale I'm going to be doing. And just stocking up on a few other things. Chocolate malt, roasted barley, some Crystal 40. Oops, that's Munich. There's the Crystal 40. And I just got a packet of some Northern Brewer hops. Spigot. I keep those spigots on hand. USO 5. Nova Lager. And then I've never seen this book before. He had it for $5. I couldn't pass that up. It's Ron Pattinson, who I'm quite familiar with. It's a Homebrewer's Guide to Vintage Beer. It's very cool, man. Got a bunch of different recipes here, formulations. So yeah, I'm always down for a new homebrewing book. So yeah, that's it. South Hills Brewing and Supply.
Okay, hope you like that. And so coming up, my next video is mostly about beer cans. My collection and Steve Theotto's collection. And for those who don't know, I played in 2 bands with Steve, American Dog and Rat Bastard Syndicate, and Steve and I are still writing and recording music. Now in the video, we also check out a huge beer can collection at Ramsey's in Marysville, Ohio, and then later Steve and I do a tasting of Debbie's Festive Slow Gin, courtesy of Schnuzz. Thank you, Schnuzz. And also on tap, I'm going to post a Brew Day video with a tasting segment, so be on the lookout for it. And that's all for the moment. So thanks for watching, stay tuned, and I'll catch you in the next video.